look who's back with us now, the host of Kudlow on Fox Business, Larry Kudlow. We love having you on, Larry. It's so great to see you. Larry, how worried are you about this railroad strike? It looks like it could happen. It could hit the White House, the midterms, the economy really hard.
Well, I agree with that, Liz. Things are in very poor economic shape right now between inflation and recession. And if they go out on strike, it's going to make everything worse. All right, supply shortages will reappear. Prices are going to go up. People are going to get laid off. It's not a good story. Nothing here is a good story, I must say, in general, but this will make it worse. How
confident are you that the White House can fix it and Congress can do anything? You know, you look at the data coming in, Larry, the Trucking Association is now saying they're going to need 460,000 long-haul trucks running daily if this happens, but we already have a shortage of 80,000 truckers.
Well, that's right. I mean, you're way short on the truckers. Trucking, by the way, I think carries something like 75% of all the goods that flow inside the United States. And they're not going to be able to pick up the slack if the freights go out of business or if they go on strike or for how long. I don't think the White House there's nothing they can do, to be honest with you. It's an odd story because wages have been rising almost too much in some cases, but I'm happy with higher wages as long as there's productivity. But my point is, politically, they've already invoked a Taft-Hartley injunction. That runs out Friday, as you know. So I don't know what they expect to do. They should be sitting down. I mean, if you had a functioning transportation secretary, for example, who doesn't sit around bad-mouthing fossil fuels every chance he gets, maybe he could sit down and talk some sense. The president himself probably is going to have to get involved. Will he get involved personally? I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, and you know, this comes out in, Larry, that tone-deaf White House party with government. Those are government workers celebrating the Democrats' Inflation Reduction Act. Of course, Larry, there was no mention that inflation is accelerating, getting entrenched. You know, and this was happening right as the Dow was tanking. You know, Larry, we looked at the president's new economic blueprint. Guess what's missing? Fighting overall inflation. That's not in the 5 pillars. He's just talking about drug costs. Are they so out of touch and tone deaf that this might be possibly the worst White House we could have at this point in time when it comes to the economy and inflation?
Well, I would say to you, Liz, the answer is yes. All right. People can say, look, I'm a Trump guy, so I got to say that. No, I'm just saying they have mishandled everything. And politically, they're tone deaf. That was this so-called celebration yesterday after a terrible inflation report. I mean, look, Biden today, Liz, said that he inherited a crisis and he has created a resurgence. He just said that. I think he was in Detroit. You know what? It's exactly the reverse. He inherited a resurgence. The economy was growing 6.5% with virtually no inflation, and he has turned it in a year and a half into a crisis. We have inflation, we have recession, we're going to have tighter and tighter money, and Washington and the Bidens and Schumer and so forth continue to spend with this recent legislation. Maya McGinnis and the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget put out a note last night. They have created $5 trillion in additional deficits, $2.5 trillion some odd just in this year alone. This is a spending problem.
Yeah,
Stop the spending.
If you ranked it, it would be, I think, as big as Germany or Japan. It would stand alone as its own economy, the amount of spending we added, Larry. And, the issue, too, is It's like, he did inherit a V-shaped recovery. But now he's saying he created 10 million jobs. He didn't. It's because the economy opened up after those pandemic lockdowns that Democrats pushed. He's claiming they're lowering the deficit. No, it's because pandemic spending programs are going away and tax revenues are going in. Larry, let's listen to what the president was also saying yesterday. Watch this.
And what a great day. Exactly 4 weeks ago today, I signed the Inflation Reduction Act into law, a single most important legislation passed in the Congress to combat inflation and one of the most significant laws in our nation's history. How long we've been taking on these interests? From the time I got to the Senate 720 years ago. I'm serious. So I don't want to hear it anymore about big spending Democrats.
Okay, he got to the Senate 720 years ago. Okay, let's back up. I don't know what he meant by that. Okay, let's back up. The CBO, what was that? He's been around since Nixon. Maybe it feels like 720 years for everybody else. But the CBO, Moody's Analytics, UPenn Wharton, right? 230 economists, JP Morgan Chase says it does nothing to cut inflation. I think people are getting sick and tired of the top spin here.
You know, look at this is going to be an inflation election.
They say it's an abortion, but they say it's an abortion election. They say it's going to be abortion that's going to drive out voters.
Well, the polls I'm looking at, 35% number one issue, inflation/economy. Abortion down around 7 or 8%, and climate change, Liz, about 2%. So he's not selling this, and it's not going to succeed. And ordinary working folks are losing money every single month. 17 consecutive months, real weekly wages have fallen. This is a terrible situation. And unfortunately, even though I always am optimistic long term, I think the cavalry's coming, I think the Congress is going to change. Nonetheless, we've dug a deep ditch here, and it's not going to be easy to get out of it.
Okay, Larry Kudlow, thanks for joining us.